Hello, this is Caveman PRDR, and welcome to a gun review. And today we're going to be talking about something new. Like, yes, it's something new. No, literally, the gun is called something new. All memes aside, it's the new 120 RPM hand cannon that drops at the end of the bonfire bash activity during the Solstice of Heroes event. Um, and we'll talk a little bit about the base stat package for it. It is actually the first 120 RPM to be introduced into the game since Igneous Hammer during Season of the Chosen, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll go over a couple things, talk about the base stat package first, compared to the other 120 RPMs that are available in the game right now as drops, including the Loud Lullaby, True Prophecy, and Bottom Dollar. So, base stat package wise, immediately you can see that it's better than Loud Lullaby in range, especially in the stability department, a little bit better in reload speed, and a good bit better on airborne effectiveness. And it's generally better in the recoil direction. It actually has the highest AE stats of the existing 120 available to acquire rolls in season 17 of the four hand cannons. So that is something to note, and we'll talk a little bit about it later. And it also has the best base recoil. Not to say that it differs very much from True Prophecy or Loud Lullaby in terms of how it feels, but it does differ quite a bit from Bottom Dollar, which is arguably the best one of the four right now. In terms of base stat package, it pretty much, in some ways, ties up with True Prophecy. It has a little bit less base handling, has less base mag, less base aim assist, and less base inventory size. The perks that actually come with it now. So it gets barrels instead of sights. So we're gonna have things like arrowhead, chambered comp, corkscrew, extended, fluted full bore, hammer forged, polygonal, and small bore. And then you have the magazine perks, which are extended, alloy, appended, armor piercing, high cal rounds, ricochet, flared magwell, light mag, column 3. For the first of the perks, you have feeding frenzy, you have wellspring, stats for all, triple tap, ensemble, tunnel vision, headstone, demolitionist, harmony, multi-kill clip, well-rounded, and thresh in column 4. So, at first glance, you can say, and it would be a fair criticism to say, that it has a fairly weak perk pool, especially in 3 and 4. But I want to say that before you immediately toss the gun out to the side, there are a couple things that you can do with it that you can't do with other 120s. It being the Stasis 120, it does have synergies with the Stasis subclass for Headstone, and there are a couple of other roles that I want to go with you over. So the first one, my personal role that I would like to acquire, and I have one that is pretty similar, is the team-based role that I would prefer to use for 3v3s and trials. So I want to get something that boosts a little bit of the range and stability on it. So what I'm trying to do is improve the base stat package of the role. So I personally like something that increases range and stability, so I'm going small bore in column 1, ricochet rounds in column 2 to do the same. I'm going with ensemble in column 3. You need to learn to be able to play near your teammates anyway, and ensemble, in a way, when you look at the bottom left, it appears whenever you're within 15 meters of one or more allies. So it lets you know when you're near teammates, and it grants 30 handling and 40 reload speed whenever you are near them. So the gun feels noticeably different and quite well. So whenever you actually add that to the stats, it gives it a 54 handling, it gives it a 54 handling and an 65 reload speed. It is a noticeable difference in how it plays when you're near teammates versus away from them. Ideally in 3v3s and trials, unless you're the flanker type player, you really, as a 120 player, you should be near a teammate, getting chunk damage out with them and getting picks that way. And for my column 4, my personal pick is Harmony. Final blows with other weapons improve this weapon's damage and performance for a short duration. Activates on weapon ready 3 seconds after getting a kill with a different weapon. Grants 20% damage increase and 15 handling for 7 seconds. So you get even more handling on top of what you get from Ensemble if you're still near the teammate with the Ensemble's bonuses. So the 20% damage increase takes it from hitting 80 per crit to 96 per crit. This 2 taps Guardians at 5 resilience or less. So, in my opinion, this is the best roll. This is the god roll for how I would like to play with a 120. I think I have a handling masterwork, but I would arguably prefer the stability masterwork. I'll take either way. Alright, so the second roll I want to talk about is the ability Regen roll, which has Wellspring and Demolitionist. Wellspring grants 8% ability energy split equally across all uncharged abilities every time you get a kill. Demolitionist kills with this weapon generate grenade energy. Activating your grenade ability reloads this weapon from reserves. This is important. That is the second part of Demolitionist is important, as this gun generally only has 7 base magazine from reserve. For some reason, the D2 Gunsmith is saying that it's 8 right now, but if you get a base one, you know that it's 7. So anyway, primary and power weapon kills grant 10% of your grenade energy. Special weapon kills grant 20%. Trace rifles, grenade launchers only grant 10. 3-second cooldown to the reload effect on Demolitionist. So now we'll talk about one of the exotic handling rolls. Specifically would be arguably my Ophidian's aspect roll. I want to get some range, I want to get some stability, range with Hammer Forge, range and stability with ricochet rounds, but then I'm actually going to go tunnel vision for the reload speed. Ophidian's grants handling and grants reload speed to your currently equipped weapon. So reloading for tunnel vision. After reloading and defeating a target greatly increases target acquisition and ADS speed for a short duration. And it's granted for 5 seconds. It grants the following: 20 aim assist, which bumps this up to 60 aim assist. It takes away 20% of the accuracy cone size. And the ADS handling multiplier is increased to give kind of a pseudo or yet another snapshot sights, basically. Demolitionist we talked about before. I feel like most of the time, if you're playing Warlock in PvP, you're gonna have some. You're more than likely going to be using grenades to some extent. It's just in a lot of the kits for a lot of Warlocks. I feel like Demolitionist would be the way to go in column 4 for people who want to use the Ophidian aspects. We'll talk about the Candy Cakes roll, which he immediately introduced whenever the gun first came out a couple weeks ago now. So his thought process into this was, hey, let's take advantage of airborne effectiveness. So with it having the higher base effectiveness of 2023, you can add on 10 with extended mag. And it also adds, let's see, it should bring the magazine up to 10 if I'm not mistaken, because it said it was 8 earlier, so if it adds plus 3, it should be a 10. So it brings the magazine up to 10 with extended mag. You can also use this to boost the airborne effectiveness more. If you're a hunter, you can use Lucky Pants. If I'm not mistaken, Lucky Pants gives a plus 30. It either gives a plus 20 or plus 30 to airborne effectiveness. So if you use this roll specifically with Lucky Pants, you're looking at 53 to 63 airborne effectiveness just from using an extended mag roll with Lucky Pants together. It doesn't even have to be Ensemble, doesn't have to be Harmony, doesn't have to be Fluted Barrel. It's just food for thought. But if you do get a Lucky Pants roll, you don't have to bother with Ensemble because you're already going to get the highest possible the highest possible ready speed with Lucky Pants. So you don't even have to use Ensemble. You could use, heck, you could use Fitting Frenzy if you want to. You could use Wellspring. You wouldn't have to. You could even use Tunnel Vision. Doesn't really matter. The next role I want to talk about is a Stasis Grenade Regen role or Stasis Synergy role. So this one has very good synergies with two Stasis Fragments. One is Whisper of Shards, and the other is Whispers of Chains. So the way that this is going to work is whenever you get a kill, you get a precision kill, you proc a Stasis Crystal on the victim's location. So what that does is whenever you walk up to that crystal and you break the crystal, you can melee it, you can shoot it, however you want to break it. You can break it and use Whisper of Shards. Whisper of Shards will get you grenade energy back. So this has very good synergy with Stasis Grenade Regen. You can also use this in trials as well. Whenever you kill or down someone, say they're pushing out by themselves and they're not really near their team, you can get the precision kill on them and then stand near that Stasis Crystal using Whisper of Chains fragment to gain damage resistance from incoming combatants. You can use this crystal that spawns on them as a temporary cover, and you also gain damage resistance while you're using it. So at the end of the day, why even bother using the gun? If 140s are meta, answer, its base range is longer than the range rolls for IS Luna and Ostringer. So, and the line for this is very close, by the way. They have very close damage fall off. But the difference is, when you step back a little bit and they step back a little bit, you're still hitting them harder than they hit you. So, it's just food for thought. You don't have to necessarily build in using a 120 against 140s. You don't have to build a lot into range. You don't even really have to build into range if you don't want to. I just recommend doing it at least a little bit. Plus, not all 140s can even go up to 35 meters anyway. So, you immediately pretty much have that advantage. Like, if I'm not mistaken, only Ostringer, IS Luna, Palindrome, and Cantata can even get 35 meters. And a lot of those you have to sacrifice a good bit of stats for. So you can argue that, in my opinion, I would just prefer to use a 120 because I can be further away and still do more damage. And also one thing, okay, so the main important thing about that is to just know your engagement distances. If you're going to bother fighting 140s, you should fight them outside of their engagement distance. If you go inside their engagement distance, you cannot miss because they have a faster TTK. However, it takes less skill for you acquired to kill them in your minimum TTK because they have to land 3 headshots. You only have to land 2 headshots and a body shot. So, that's just something to think about. So, overall, something new. By and far, not the best 120, but it has some things to offer in certain fringe cases. So, that is going to be my review for it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day. Hello, this is Caveman PRDR. Thank you for joining me on another one of my YouTube videos today. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment down below any questions or comments that you have about the content. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.